When people talk about the story of New Vegas, they usually claim that the Courier is Deus Ex Machina, God from the machine, that no one else could do what the Courier did, that he's unique and special. They usually claim that the Courier is of some sort of legendary status. The entire story of New California makes a backstory to the Courier to explain his extraordinary skills. But that's not actually needed. The Courier don't need to be extraordinary to beat the story of New Vegas.
So you came, Courier.
First thing I want to do for the Courier's little challenge here, I want to state that the Courier cannot be a super soldier. He's pretty much as useful as an NCR soldier, which means not very useful. He has no special power. The only thing he can really do is talk himself out of scenarios, but he can't kill multiple people. If it's a 1v1, I will give it to the Courier. If it's 2v1, Courier is dead. First we must look at, can the Courier survive the two main quests, which is getting to New Vegas? And can he explore Prim, Nipton, Novak, and Boulder City? Then, can he get to Benny, get the Platinum Ship, and then go to House? I've been showing Goodsprings in the background, and my argument there is, yes, the Courier can actually do everything in Goodsprings, fight the powder gangs, and still survive. That's not an issue, because there's a militia. What the Courier does is bring in a militia to fight the powder gangs. He doesn't have to fight it alone. So he can fight the Goodsprings without a problem, and then he goes to Prim, and the issue lies in Prim. He cannot clear out Prim. A Courier that's not a god cannot clear out it, because even the NCR stationed there can't clear out Prim. So a lone Courier with the same skill as a soldier cannot clear it out alone. Luckily for the Courier, you can just pass it by. You will not know certain information about Benny, but I don't think that information is very necessary. But sure, if you actually don't know this information, then you don't know to go to Novak and Boulder City. Which means you shouldn't know. The Courier can get to Nipton, seeing Kolta, and have no problem there. Getting to Novak is a bit of a problem, but let's just say he managed to sneak around it all, which is possible. And it's just the way to Novak that's the hard part. You have to pass a lot of ambushes that the Courier wouldn't survive. Anything can kill you on the way, but I made a bit of a rule. Because Ringo could make it to the Crimson Caravan, that means that you, as the Courier, can as well. Because if a single man can do it, and Ringo's not that special, you should be able to do it too. Then it's Boulder City. And he can go to Boulder City and talk to the cons without a problem, because he can talk his way out of it. And then he just walks up to New Vegas, no problem. He should be able to get at least 2,000 to get into New Vegas, talk to House, get to Benny. So the first quest is possible to do without being a superhero. Because hell, even fucking Ringo makes it up there alone later. Then it's killing Benny. And as I showed in the Swank video, it is fully possible to kill Benny. You find evidence, give it to Swank. Swank will put Benny in the room alone and you will shoot him. And he will die. And because I made a rule that the Courier can survive a one-on-one conflict, Benny is dead and Swank is sad. Look at this. It's my social blade. It tells me in 2 months I will have 3,169 subscribers. And I say bullshit. I'm saying with your help I can reach 3,000 subscribers in a month, not 2. Alright, so now it's time for the 4 different factions you can pick for the end game. And there's a lot of issues with this, but let's take one at a time. You can meet Yes Man, no problem. He can give you the quest, and you can just ignore all the side quests he gives you. You can say ignore the boomers, ignore the rest. But you have to kill Mr. House, and you have to get underneath the fort. That's not possible to do. No normal human can kill Mr. House, it's way too fortified. You can't battle against, 4 or 5 Securitrons, you can't do that. Secondly, you cannot take the Platinum Ship through the fort, because underneath the fort has way too many men. Caesar expects you to just clear it out yourself. You can't, it's impossible. No normal human can do that. Hell, not even like 10 Legionnaires could do that. Let alone a Courier. If you want to sign up with the Legion, you can't do that, as I just stated. You need to go underneath the fort, and you're kind of screwed. And if you wanted to heal Caesar, you can't do that, because you need to go to one of these forts that has these spore things in them, and you would die, because those are brutal. And then it comes to Mr. House. Yeah, you can't do this one either, because one of the first things House require of you is to go to the fort underneath and activate the Securitrons. That ain't happening. Another issue that Mr. House has is asking you to blow up the Brotherhood of Steel bunker. Yeah, you're not doing that one either. Even if you have their trust, you're not getting out of there alive. You're gonna get blown the fuck out. So that leaves us to the NCR quests. And, on a personal note, I've actually never finished the NCR questline because I don't like the NCR. So let's start by looking at what is here. First quest, things that go boom. Is it possible? Yes. You have to go to the boomers, and because of the man who stands outside of the boomer territory, you can actually walk inside of boomer territory and talk to them without having to be some sort of superhuman. It has been done before. And then you go back to Dennis Crocker, and once you do that, you can just tell him that I've met with the boomers and they won't help you. So, no worries there. King's Gambit. This is either helping the king or killing the king. But helping the king is something you can do. There's no major conflicts. And in all of them, you can talk your way out. So, no big problems. The difficult one comes in For the Republic Part 2. Here you have to do a certain amount of side quests for them to care about you. So let's look at those side quests. Oh no, oh, fuck. No, this can't be done. God damn it. The Courier cannot, I repeat, cannot kill Mr. House. It's impossible. There's no way for him to do that. Let's look again how it looks inside of the goddamn Lucky 38, shall we? So, guarding is Victor. The person you see right here is DLC. Then it's Chevy, his GF. One Securitron on the left side of me. Two Securitrons right next to Mr. House. Yeah, any of those can kill me. Like, as I said, two. I can battle one Securitron. But if Henry Jr. battles two, sure, he can have one companion. I guess it would be fair. 2v2, can I survive? But here is at least four, and I guarantee you there's one near the door of Mr. House and one inside, which probably is around 6. There's 6 Securitrons ready to shoot me down. Yeah, a Courier is not surviving that, which means the Courier, if he was a normal human being, could not do this. So let's look again at the quests. So you can't do For the Republic Part 2. I mean, would the NCR give the Courier this quest if it was real? I mean, probably not. I mean, what did they expect? They expect one man to fix all the problems. They expect a Deus Ex Machina. That's the issue. They expect the Guardian machine to just fix it for them. I mean, they would have done this themselves if this was normal NCR, you know. But the question, can you then survive the 2 other quests? You know when it happens, which is President Kimball being shot, and Eureka. Yeah, those 2 you can do, without any problems. But you cannot do For the Republic Part 2 if the Courier was like a normal soldier. So why are the 4 different factions treating the Courier as some sort of Deus Ex Machina? For the yes man, it's quite simple. The dude just says yes, it's kind of your own fault. For Mr. House, the only thing he's really asking you to do that is important is activate his Securitron army. The rest he technically could do himself, and the reason why he asked you for the Securitron army is because you got invited by Caesar. Otherwise he wouldn't have asked. He has the platinum chip, he doesn't need you anymore, you're disposable. But if you successfully can do a few more tasks, that's great, but if you die, Bob's your uncle, doesn't really matter, he can do it himself. For the Legion, it's pretty much the same as Mr. House. It's, you got invited to the Lucky 38, good. Maybe you can kill, but even if you do, it doesn't matter. The Courier, the only thing the Courier does, I should say, is saving Caesar. The rest doesn't matter. Caesar could have done it himself. Destroying the fort underneath doesn't matter, that's just a loyalty part. The other quests with the Boomer doesn't matter, it's just a loyalty part. You don't matter much in the Legion story, if not for healing Caesar. For the NCR, same thing goes there. You don't matter. You genuinely don't matter. So, alright, so this is the thing with the courier. Except for the few tasks in the start, which revolves the MacGuffin, meaning the platinum ship, you don't matter. You genuinely don't matter. That's why they throw you in very dangerous situations. Because it doesn't matter. Sure, Mr. Kimball, they say save President Kimball. Hell, they didn't fucking know he was going to be assassinated. That was just lucky for the NCR to choose you of all people. But the courier doesn't matter. That's why he's not a god of the machine. He can't complete the tasks, sure, but it doesn't matter if he completes the tasks or not. So if the courier was a normal human being, he couldn't do it. So in that sense, the courier is extraordinary. He's still no Deus Ex Machina, because he's quite useless. He might be extraordinary, but they don't use him for that. They kind of gamble with the courier's life. You don't matter for them. If you complete the tasks, that's good. If you don't complete the task, who cares? That's why you don't matter. You don't matter. The courier don't matter. He just happens to be extraordinary. They don't care.